Okay, guys, I totally messed up. I did this before. Guys, believe it or not, when I was shooting Monday's video, I did the same damn thing. So let me start this again. All right, guys. So on Monday, we talked about it being time to think about relocating. The window of opportunity to relocate is not going to be that big. Okay. And thank you guys for putting me on the fact that I didn't have any sound. It happens. So I apologize. But thank you for staying in there. Okay. Now, I talked on Monday's video about the window of opportunity to move freely is closing. You all see it. ICE at U.S. airports, TSA being underfunded on purpose, right? Today I'm going to take you through getting prepared to relocate, okay? Preparing to leave now, the reality check and what you all need to be doing, okay? So I'm going to take you through. We're going to talk about James. He's one of my he's not actually a private client. I'm just using James. He's 59 years old for the purposes of me walking you through what I'm going to do with my private clients and what I've done and some of the things that come up in these conversations on this 1 hour call. Okay. Now we're not probably going to go 1 hour today, but I want to give you the format of what it looks like if you book a call with me, a consultation call to get you ready to relocate. All right. First off, welcome to the Next Chapter Forward. If this is your first time, I'm Stephen Bardo, point guard, former professional basketball player with Dallas, Detroit, and San Antonio in the NBA. And I also played in Italy, Spain, France, Germany, Venezuela, and Japan overseas. So I've worked in foreign countries, and I did that for the better part of 10 years, okay? I'm just now retiring from a 25-year career as a college and NBA television analyst. I work for every network that you could fit that hosts basketball. Any network that has covered college basketball in the United States, I've worked for them. ESPN, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox Sports, Big Ten Network, Yahoo Sports, cover the WNBA as well, cover the Milwaukee Bucks and Chicago Bulls and the NBA. Guys, I've done it all, okay? Now, I'm in the next chapter of my life helping Black men over 50 relocate. If this sounds good, you're in the right place, okay? All right, so I'm going to take you through this scenario, and we're gonna use James at 59 years old, brother from Chicago. All right, here we go. The first question I'm going to ask James is, what is the cost of you staying in Chicago another year? What does that look like? You guys that are live currently and that you're going to come back and watch the replay of this, what is the cost to you? What does this look like? What is the cost to your health and your mental clarity and sanity that you are still looking over your shoulder? Whenever the police pulls behind you, what does your body do? What does your central nervous system look like right now? How does that feel? How do you feel amongst all the chaos that's going on right now back home? How much does that cost for you, knowing that you want to relocate, knowing that you have some countries in mind that you're interested in, but not pulling the trigger? What is that costing you? Okay, that's the first question. Second question, James has a healthy $5,000 a month pension that he's going to have when he relocates. He decided to retire early. He did very well with his money, and he's got a house that he owns outright. Okay. He's an empty nester. He's raised his kids. He's divorced. And so he doesn't have to consult with anyone. He's solo dolo. Okay. Is he going to sell his house, or is he going to rent it out? Is he going to sell it, take the proceeds and add it to what he wants? Or can he rent it out, or will he even keep it for family members? Okay. We have to go through that because generally, guys, housing and residency is our biggest cost. Okay. So that's something that we have to go through. What is your particular scenario? What does your scenario look like? Are you renting? If you're renting, that gives you a lot of flexibility in your quest to relocate. Okay. Now, if you own, that's great too, because if you sell, you get the profits. If you keep it and you rent it out, you're generating monthly income. If you keep it and, use it, you may have some kids that may have come upon hard times. The job market is difficult out there for young adults right now. And maybe you keep the house to allow your son, daughter, nieces, nephews, whoever needs it to stay in the house. But we need to figure that out as well, because that's a part of your financial game plan moving forward. Okay. All right. Put in the comments what your scenario is. When you relocate, are you planning to sell your place? Are you going to keep it rented out? Are you going to keep it for family members? Or are you currently renting, which gives you the ultimate flexibility in relocating? Put in the comments what your scenario is. Okay. Number 3. Medicare doesn't generally go with you to different countries. There are some partial Medicare benefits that apply in certain countries. I'm not as well versed on that yet as I'm going to be soon. I'm continuing to get that information that I can bring that back to you. But do you have any pre-existing medical conditions? Because if you do, this is going to affect your eligibility in enrollment in certain private insurance policies in different countries. So what are your pre-existing conditions? All right. Now, here in Mexico, there are a lot of people my age or older. I'm 57, soon to be 58 in April. Okay. There are a lot of people my age or older that live in Mexico that pay out of pocket for their Medicare, for their medical costs. I know that sounds risky in the United States, because one bad situation that requires hospitalization and extensive medical care can bankrupt Americans. That's a big fear for Americans. Now, in Mexico, the medical care is so affordable that there are a lot of Canadians and a lot of Americans that live here that I've spoken with at length that don't pay for private healthcare insurance. They pay out of pocket. That's currently what I'm doing right now. So part of this situation, the game plan that I help my clients figure out, is that I got a big time physical workup before I left. So I wanted to see what kind of, did I have any existing conditions? Is there something that I need to be paying attention to? Is there something I need to keep an eye on and follow up on when I move to Mexico? We need to figure out all these things, guys. That's part of the work that I do with my clients. Okay. We're trying to figure out, are you healthy enough like me? Thank the Creator for my health. Thank you, Creator. Are you healthy enough like me that you can pay out of pocket for your medical costs here in Mexico, or in Panama, or in Colombia, South Africa, Tanzania, Thailand, Portugal, Greece, Spain, right? Are you healthy enough that you can pay out of pocket? Or do you need private healthcare insurance? Now, here in Mexico, excellent private healthcare insurance runs $150 to $175 a month. And in some of these policies, guys, if you've been on with me before, you know that doctors can make house calls here in Mexico. If you are infirmed and you can't get out of bed or you can't leave your house, certain policies will have the doctors come to your house, like it used to be back in the United States, back in the 60s and 70s. Okay. All right. So that's what we need to do, because, guys, even if you're coming to another country and you don't get this health, you don't get your game plan down pat with your health care, it can cut into your health, into your nest egg. What you're planning to live on, if not done properly, it can't cut. Now, not like the United States. I don't want you to think about if you come down to Mexico and you have a medical emergency and you got to be hospitalized and you've got a decent amount of savings. If you got a few $1,000s saved up, generally that will cover your expense. Now, don't take that as word is bond. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. All I'm saying is this is information that I've come across. Okay. All right. So this is a critical piece. Along with the money, we've got to get your medical game plan together. All right. Do you guys have any pre-existing conditions? And are you concerned about qualifying for private healthcare insurance in another country? If you are, put in the comments what your concerns are. Okay. All right. How we doing, guys? Are you getting some benefit out of this? You getting value out of this? If you are, like and share this content. Like this video, share this content. And guys, I did some research and I'm noticing that about 80% of you who come to the channel regularly are not subscribed to Next Chapter Forward. Please hit that subscribe button. And look, you don't need to share with a bunch of people. Share this with one brother that you know is interested in relocating, that needs this information. Okay. At the end of our live here, before I get to your questions, I'll show you a way that you can come on. Well, I can do that now. Let me pop this up here. Go to my link in the bio and get your global scouting report. It's a free quiz. It's 8 questions. It takes 2 minutes and it gives you a score of your readiness to relocate. And it's great, guys, because it gives me feedback on your current situation. It puts you on the mailing list of Next Chapter Forward. And I send out about 2 or 3 emails a week. Okay. And, you know, the guys on the email list, they like it a lot. We're up to about 130, 140 now on the email list. We had more, but there are people that are unsubscribed, and I'm fine with that because I want people who are interested in relocating. I want to be your point guard, your transition architect to help you flush all these things out that can be troublesome if you don't have a point guard like me or if you haven't done extensive research on this topic. All right, moving on. Number 4, the visa trap. A lot of times, guys, I see people getting ahead of themselves. And let's take James, for instance. James may have a family member that is from Mexico, and he automatically wants to get citizenship. Here's why this is a very important piece of the conversation in our consultations with my clients. I always advise my clients to do the temporary residency first. Why? Because it's the easiest to acquire. Let me give you my example. Okay. When I go back to Chicago next week, I'm trying to get an appointment in the Mexican consulate, because to get a temporary residency on financial solvency, which is the residency that I'm going for, you need to show $75,000 per month. I'm sorry, $75,000 in savings, checking, and investments. It can all be combined. And you have to show this threshold over the last 12 months. Okay. So every month you can have a combination of savings, checking, and investments, whatever can be liquid, at the amount of $75,000 each month for 12 consecutive months. Okay. That's the criteria for the temporary residency that I'm applying for. There's a number of residencies that you can apply for in different countries. For example, Thailand, if you're going to learn a language, you can get a visa for that. If you're going to learn the Thai language. If you're going for Muay Thai boxing, you can get a visa for that. If you're going to learn Thai cooking, you can get a temporary visa for that. So each country has their own particular visas that you can apply for. That's why it's important in my consultations with my private clients, like James here, that I go through all these things, that I'm trying to figure out what you need. Because guys, on Monday's video, I gave 3 action steps. The first action step was to calculate your monthly income, right? We did that earlier. James has $5,000 of monthly income that he can use. Okay. The second thing that I did in the action steps, the second action step was to get your paper stack together, pull your paperwork together, so that once we get all of your paperwork together, then we know which visa that you're going to apply for, then it makes the process a lot easier. The third action step was to book your trip this week. Not, oh, I'm going to get around to it. No, book your trip this week. So I gave you 3 action steps in Monday's video. Now what we're doing, we're adding to James's portfolio here. We're getting his scouting report together so we can lay out that game plan. Okay. All right. Now, step number 5, the brotherhood and isolation piece. This was big for me, guys. I wanted to have a brotherhood wherever I went. I wanted to meet other brothers. I wanted to meet other sisters. In any country that I was going to choose, I wanted to find the Black community. That's very important to me. I don't know if that's important to you, but for James, it is. Okay. So I asked him, you know, wherever you're going to relocate to, the first month or 2 is still, it's going to be like vacation. It's going to be like jailbreak. You're not, guys, I'm telling you, you're not going to understand the level of energy that you're going to receive when you get to the country that you really want to relocate to. You're going to see the loud, you'll hear loud sounds and you won't jump. Like where I lived in Chicago, I lived on the South Side. Hearing gunshots was not unusual. It didn't happen every day, but there'd be times of the day, at night, during the day, I'd be in the house working or whatever, and you can hear gunshots. Okay? You don't hear that overseas. Generally, guys, wherever you're going to go, you're not going to hear that overseas. Okay? When you see police here in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, it's almost a relief because they're not going to get you. Okay? Let me share something with you. There's a sister named Mimi that's here. They call her TT Mimi. And she's this sister that you guys know, these Black women who are loving, caring. They have an aura about them. They just have this essence and beauty about them. This is Mimi, okay? And Mimi said something on we were doing a show together, an interview with this other brother who's based in the States. And what Mimi said was very profound. She said that even if I'm stopped by the police here in Playa del Carmen, I'm not worried about making it home that night. Now, Mimi lives by herself with her dog. I can't remember her dog. Oh, CeeLo, little Celito, little CeeLo. Mimi said that even if she gets stopped or pulled over by the police, she's not worried about making it home at night. Guys, that's powerful. I don't know about you, but when I'm in the United States and I'm driving and a police car pulls up behind me, because I've had bad experiences with the police, I get nervous. My body tenses up. The cortisol shoots up. The cortisol levels shoot up in my body. Okay? That doesn't happen here. When we see the police, it's what up, homie? And I saw a policewoman here. I went right up to her and I said, "Hola, hermosa," because she was fine, y'all. I'd be reluctant to do that in the United States because you don't know what kind of response you're going to get from a policewoman. But I walked up to this woman. I said, "Hola, hermosa," and she smiled and she said, "Gracias, buenos dias is what she said. She liked the fact that I gave her a compliment. I wouldn't do that with a female police officer in the United States, even if I saw a fine, because there's plenty of attractive police women in the United States. Plenty. I've seen plenty. But I didn't feel as encouraged to go and say what I did to this Playa del Carmen police officer here. Okay? It's totally different, guys. Is brotherhood important to you? If so, put it in the comments. I'd love to hear your comments. Okay? So that's a framework. Obviously, I'm going to ask more questions. I'm going to do deeper dives with James and my private clients, but that's basically how it goes. Okay? I get more in depth. I ask far more questions than that, but I wanted to give you guys a kind of a 30,000 foot view of what working with Next Chapter 4 would look like. Okay? Thank you guys for staying on. And, my ineptness of going the first 4 or 5 minutes with no sound. That's crazy. But yet it's another learning experience in growing this platform. All right. In addition to getting your global scouting report, type free throw 15 in the comments if you want a free 15-minute phone call with yours truly. Okay. I really like these calls, guys. How many have I had since I started doing them? In the last month, I've had probably 12 to 15 of them, and they're very, very informative for me and you guys. Okay. Because I get to know you, because this is the thing, guys. I'm trying to create a brotherhood of brothers around the world who have successfully relocated to the countries of their choice, and yet are willing to reach back and help other brothers answer questions, give specific perspectives, combine resources, just to uplift all of us. Because I think we've lost the sense of community in the United States. There's so much that goes against us that I think it's important that we build wherever we are. Like today, this brother Javon, I'd seen him around. Guys, he's a good looking brother. I mean, ripped, like built, cut, strong, works out, smiles a lot, easy going, just a great attitude. I'd be like, what up, bro? I'd see him working out, but I never had talked to him. Today at the track, we got a chance to chat. I got his information. I'm going to send him a text. But he said, what's up, coach? And I looked at him. He said, yeah, man, I follow all your stuff. I've seen all your videos. I really like what you're doing. Guys, you don't know what that does to my psyche. That uplifts me. That gives me energy. That gives me hope and knowing that I'm helping other brothers out. Guys are watching. They're getting value from this, right? So, Javon, shout out to you, brother. That was huge for me today. Not that I was down or anything, but just that positive feedback from you, it really emboldens me to continue what I'm doing to bring this value to you brothers, okay? So, if any of this interests you, go ahead and type free throw 15 in the comments. And if you're watching a replay of this, go ahead and type free throw 15 in the comments, okay? I'll go back and edit this so I can get the first 5 minutes. Oh my gosh. I'll get the first 5 minutes out of the way. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and get to your questions here. Let's see. Okay. Deshaun Hall. What's up, Deshaun? Thank you for tuning in once again, brother. I hope you are subscribed to Next Chapter Forward. Thank you for your presence. You were here consistently on Wednesday Lives, and I appreciate it. He owns home, always leaving it to the kids, getting retrained to work remotely. Once I can work remotely, I'm gone. Deshaun, this is great, brother. Thank you for sharing your situation with us. Think about this, guys. Think about how good a position Deshaun is in. He owns his home, but he's going to leave it to his kids. How fortunate are your kids, Deshaun? How fortunate are they? They're going to get your crib that you worked hard for. You made the right decisions on, and you find yourself in this time of your life. Congratulations, Deshaun. Where are my sound effects? Hold on. I got some toys here that I got to play with. Yeah, Deshaun. That deserves a round of applause. Congratulations to you, brother. And I hope your kids understand how fortunate they are. And you're getting retrained to work remotely. Put in the comments what that looks like. That's interesting. I haven't really heard that a lot, but I'm interested in seeing that. Hey, Reynolds, good to see you again. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate you. You need to sell, but don't want that burden of unresponsible people causing problems when you're gone. Okay, so Reynolds, were you considering leaving it for your kids like Deshaun is doing? Is that what you say? Don't want that burden of responsible people. Oh, I see. You don't want to rent it out. I got you. having rented out a property, Reynolds, it can be difficult. I had very good tenants, but it can be difficult. And that may not be a headache that you want to deal with when you're relocating out of the country. So you need to sell. If you don't mind sharing, what area are you in? Where are you tuning in from? What's up, A Boogie? Thanks for tuning in, brother. Appreciate your support as always. Good to see you again. So to Deshaun, brotherhood and fellowship is very important. So guys, this is why in Next Chapter Forward, I concentrate on 13 countries in particular. Why those 13 countries? Because I want to suggest to people places where Black men are having success currently, right? I don't want to send you to UAE. I don't want to send you to Albania. Albania is a hot country right now that people are relocating to because Albania has a great cost of living. As an American citizen, you get a year's visa just off the top because you got an American passport. Now, that's not common, and I think that has recently changed. That's why people are going to Albania in droves right now, American citizens, because the cost of living is really cost of living is affordable, and you get 12 months for just showing up with an American passport. But Black people are now starting to take advantage of it, but we need a little bit more time to see how their experiences are there. Please forgive me. We get Caminos de Basura is garbage trucks. They come twice a day. So, and they're loud. I've got my doors closed, but I can still hear it clearly. So if you're hearing that, I apologize. 12 hours a day working, 2 hours a day IT certification. So Deshaun, guys, from what I've seen, the IT side, you can't go wrong. If you can get remote work in that scenario, it just gives you so much more flexibility. And we know that IT is always going to be a very important topic, even with AI coming on board and disrupting a lot of careers. We know that that's still very, very important. All right. So if you are interested, go to my bio and you guys can get access to all the things that I have offered. I got a free 15-minute call that you can take advantage of. I'm encouraging you guys to go get your global scouting report. These two are free. And then if you want the hour-long consultation, the country clarity call, or if you want the full transformation package, which is a 3-month program that I walk with you week to week to get everything together so that at the end of that 3 months, you're ready to relocate. Or if you're not ready to relocate at that particular point, I give you continuing support to make sure that we get you relocated in the place of your dreams. If that sounds good, go to my bio, check out the different offerings. But if you're watching this for the first time, I suggest getting your global scouting report first, or type in free throw 15 in the comments. I'll send you a link, or here's the link right here. If you want to pause the video and get the URL there, that will take you to a scheduling page. You can schedule the time that's right for you, 15 minutes with me and you going one-on-one. Okay. All right. I think I got to you guys' questions and comments. Thank you for tuning in to Next Chapter Forward. We're a community of Black men over 50 who are supporting one another in our desire to find another country for our next chapter, because our next chapter is going to be our best chapter. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. So I love these clowns and knuckleheads that come on and talk ish. Whenever Black people are trying to do something for themselves. And I don't even know if this guy is Black. You know what I'm saying? It could be a bot or something like that. But I notice I'm getting a lot more of these people. and the people who are on here live see this comment from 1968 B3N. When I establish order here in America, I'm going to turn my back on you for being weak. Deuteronomy 28. Okay. Did it actually say in America 1968? Is that what it said? Or are you just you throwing in your BS and mixing it with scripture? Is that what we're doing now? you using that negative derogatory term in the same sentence as Deuteronomy. So who's being weak right now? Who's being weak? Like, I would take the time to go to your I would look up your channel, because I would imagine that you're not a person that posts. You're a person that comes on and tries to trash other people. And you know what? 1968 B3N, you know what happens? I piss off MAGA people and weak niggas like you. That's who I piss off. So I'm happy you're here. And I'm happy I'm able to address you and other weak-minded individuals like you who try to stand in the way of a movement, because you understand that this is a movement that you can't stop, right? And you're about to go work out. I already got my workout in. Okay? Every place that you turn 1968, I've beaten you. I'm not beating you. I've already beaten you. You see the difference in the terminology there? So I appreciate your haterism and your haterade, right? No, I didn't run, because here's the thing. When people say that black men are running away from the United States, what they don't realize, guys, is that we're all over the world. If we're descendants, if we're Africans, if our ancestry is of African nature, then we've been all over the world. We were on every piece of the earth before all of these so-called countries were even created. So the people that have been on here before know that I'm an indigenous black man of the area that is now called the United States. My people were here. Mine weren't brought over. Now, there are some that were brought over like that, but my people were already here. So, and my people were in the region that is now called Mexico. My people were already here. Like, if you did some traveling, 1968, outside the United States, which you probably haven't, but if you would understand that people in Mexico, the natives here, the locals, they already know that Africans were here before the Spaniards and before all that. The Olmecs and all that, we were here already. So I'm running from one territory that I was in. I'm running to another territory. I didn't run. I systematically sold all my stuff. I got my affairs in order, and I moved to Mexico. So that combination and that terminology that you hear from people, oh, you're weak, or you ran away, oh, you're a weak black man. That's the projection that we get from the White House currently. You see that? You guys notice that? Whenever you see black people doing something positive and there's a negative comment in there, notice the terminology that's being used. That's called projection. So 1968 might have an anatomy part that's missing or small, or might have a P for brain size, or if a scientist took 1968's brain and put it in a bird's ass, it would fly backwards. Oh my God. Let me get off this clown. Thank you. Thank you, 1968. Oh my gosh. God bless you, bro. If you are, bro, and whatever color you are, God bless you, bro. Uh wow. Anyway, Ray, let's see. Thank you, Reynolds. Thank you. I mean, history is written by the victor, guys. But if you really like, a lot of people don't have the time that I have to do the research that I do. Um, but I just, I used to get mad, but I kind of make fun of people like that. I guess I should make fun of people, but you know, uh, this guy. Let me show you something, guys. Since I've tapped into him, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's put 11 posts up that mean absolutely nothing. So thank you for bearing with me, gentlemen that have joined in. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your patience after the first 5 minutes. I thought when you think you have these things down, sometimes things go astray. But thank you for your patience. Thank you for hanging in there with me. And I hope you got some value out of this live. Okay. You guys have a great rest of your week. Stay away from clowns like this dude here. Stay positive, stay black, and stay strong. Until next time, guys. Holla, y'all.